You're listening to Tax Talk with Dana on DS Entertainment Network.
Tune in for the wisdom every single night. Dana's like a hero in a suit and tie, making all those numbers magically comply. Helping with deductions, sorting through the mess. With Dana's expertise, you'll never have to guess. Tax time with Dana, breaking through the law, sorting through the paper like a well-trained dog. Guiding with production, sorting through the mess. With Dana's expertise, you'll never have to guess. Tax time with Dana, breaking through the fog, sorting through the paper like a well-trained dog. Guiding with precision, calmness in his voice. With Dana on your side, you're making the right choice. Late night stress over forms and mail. Dana's got the power to make sure you prevail. Explaining every detail, giving you the key to unlocking that sweet opportunity. Tax time with Dana, breaking through the fog, sorting through the paper like a well-trained dog. Guiding with production, sorting through the mess. With Dana's expertise, you'll never have to guess. numbers now aligned. Watch the mystery unfold, release your troubled mind. Celebrate the clarity, Dana's here to stay. Every tax season, he's here to save the day. Tax time with Dana, breaking through the fog, sorting through the paper like a well-trained dog. Guiding with precision, calmness in his voice. With Dana on your side, you're making the right choice. Feel the rhythm, feel the beat of numbers now aligned. Watch the mystery unfold, release your troubled mind. Celebrate the clarity, Dana's here to stay. Every tax season, he's here to save the day.
Welcome to Tax Time with Dana, everybody. Well, hope everyone's having a good evening. Going live tonight because I'm expecting there may be a small amount of transcript updates tomorrow and Thursday, followed by our very, very large update that's going to happen on Friday. But I've been seeing a lot of notes, a lot of comments in the videos lately. People, as I stated in the last live, almost immediately people were freaking out because after the 15th, after the 16th, after the 17th, no one was seeing updates, which I've been pretty much expecting. But so I figured we could all wait this out together because we're all patiently waiting. So we got Joseph in the chat. We got Caitlin in the chat. Dharma Bezzy. How come the Path Act is still here? Path Act's done. It was done on the 15th. Now we're just waiting for the systems to update. So as I stated in the previous lives, the Path Act did lift on the 15th. However, the 15th is a Saturday this year. So because it's on a Saturday and transcript action, tax action is not performed, no updates are done to the transcript system on Saturdays. All that work that would be done on on the 15th can't be done on the 15th. Can't be done on the 16th because that's a Sunday. Can't be done on the 17th because that was a holiday. So all that work that would have been done is now starting today. So beginning tomorrow and Thursday, we're going to see a small number of updates to the system for our daily filers, and then on Friday we're going to see one of the biggest updates to this point, and probably for the remainder of the season, the most amount of people that have been waiting will see an update on Friday. Jada Pinky, hi Dana, hey. Good to see we got a fuller house this evening. Happy to see everyone. I guess that just means we're all sitting here waiting, waiting for those updates. So I didn't make any new slides. I just kind of took some past information we've gone over. I figured we can compile it tonight and go over it. And so what I'm expecting is that a lot of those daily returns, so those people that have the cycle codes that end in 01 and to 04, and some weekly, which I'll talk about after I talk about this little bit of information. Some weekly, we'll see updates on Wednesday and Thursday, and then after you see the update on the transcript on those days, the following day would be when you would see Res My Refund. And then what we'll expect is that on Friday, this is going to be the big night, the big morning really, is Thursday night into Friday. The big night into the morning is when most of those people that have been waiting on the Path Act like I've said in the past, it is about 85% or so of the people that fall on the PATH Act are weekly batch processors, which means I get this question all the time when people are seeing other people updating and they're not updating. They wonder why they haven't updated yet. If you are a weekly batch processor, you're not going to see those updates on the transcripts until Friday, or a Friday, whatever Friday that your return has finished processing. That Friday would be when that would be reflected in your transcript. So the best way I could describe it to you for the weekly batch processor, because the IRS would tell you, oh, we process returns every day of the week, which I guess in a sense is true. However, if you are a weekly batch processor, your updates would not be reflected on your transcript until that Friday. So even if they had actually processed your return on a Tuesday or a Wednesday or a Monday, even if it had been completed by then, it would not be posted to the system and reflected in the transcripts until Friday, if you were an 05. And then on Saturdays, those 05ers would see their where's my refund update. Now, because this is the first week of PATH updates, this is going to be the first week where people that have been on PATH will see updates. There will be some people that have 05s on their cycle codes that could see updates on Wednesday or Thursday on their transcripts. There's always a few that get in there on that first week, and then after the first week, the cycle returns to normal, and then those 05s only show updates on Fridays. And where's my refund updates on Saturdays. If some people were accepted on the test batch, will they be more likely to see an update tomorrow? Possibly. Now, as I said, there will be a small number of updates tomorrow and Thursday, but most people, especially a lot of the people in the test batches, most people are going to be seeing the updates on Friday to their transcripts and Saturday to where's my refund. And what happens is on that, so for those weekly batch processors, all that information from those processed returns will start to transfer on Thursday night. Right at midnight, they start transferring all the info from the returns. And you got to remember, I mean, we're talking hundreds of thousands of tax returns that have already been in the processing system. So it takes time for all that data to get transferred. So throughout the day on Thursday, throughout the day on Friday, they'll be updating the transcript systems with people that have been completed processing. Which means, you could check your transcript at 4 a.m. on Friday and have no updates, but then check it at 10 a.m. and all of a sudden everything's there. So I always tell everyone, if just because it's not there first thing in the morning, doesn't mean you haven't gotten an update. You just have to check later in the day. And historically, updates to the transcript system conclude around 4 p.m. So right around 4 p.m. is when I usually expect to see no more updates to the transcript system, which means if by 4 p.m. Eastern time you haven't seen an update, then and you're a weekly batch processor, then you shouldn't expect another update until at least the following Friday. Now, there are some people that have been checking this week, and actually a lot of people in the comments and some of the videos this week have stated they've gotten the letter of non-filing on their thing, which I actually made a video on a few 2 weeks ago. I think I put a video up about that, which explains all that. But as soon as the return does post to the system, that's when you would be able to check your account transcript. And there will be some cases where people get a freeze code on their transcripts, which things like 570. Other freeze codes could be an 810, 420, which is a really bad one. And a lot of times with that 570 or whatever freeze code does pop on there, there would be a 971 notice issued as well with a post date of a letter being sent. And until that hold is resolved, there isn't going to be a refund issued. And depending on the refund freeze, it can take anywhere from 2 weeks to many months to resolve, depending on what the issue is. When the hold is resolved, a 571 code appears, which is followed by that 846 with your refund amount and date. And what dates are we looking at this year? Did I push this in the slide? I did. So, for example, this year, the first big path updates that occur on Friday. If your transcript does update with the 846, which fingers crossed for all of us it does, the deposit date this year for those 05 weekly batch processors is going to be February 26th, which is a week from tomorrow. So the wait for many is almost over. Corey's in the chat. Don't forget to hit that like button. Yes, please, everybody, hit that like button. I don't know what the like count's up to. We'll see what my YouTube says, because my streaming software doesn't tell me. Eight likes. Eight likes. Oh boy, my microphone. Okay. If you guys in the chat can just let me know, make sure you can hear me, because my microphone keeps cutting out on my end, so I can't tell if you guys can hear me or not. All right. Thanks, everybody. Everyone make sure you say hi to the Caitlin. What else is going on in the news? Well, I'm sure everyone's heard about this stuff going on. Doge trying to get all the information from the IRS. Yeah, there's no good reason for Elon Musk to want everyone's sensitive taxpayer data. Fun times. So the last slide, I was talking about the holds, possible holds. Why don't we just talk about why someone's tax refund might get held? A lot of people get anxiety over if they're going to see a 570 code or they do update and they see the 570 code. So why? Well, first off, we know that everyone's been held for the past. Everyone that's on Path Act has been held because of the Path Act if they claimed earned income tax credit and child tax credit. So that is resolved now because it's after February 15th. All those returns are getting processed. So why are these other reasons people get held up? Well, there could be a wage and income verification. So when you file your return, the e-file system looks for inconsistencies between what you're reporting and what's been reported by your employers, or maybe companies that have filed 1099s if you're an independent contractor. So the IRS system looks for inconsistencies and flags those returns when something doesn't match up. So that could cause a hold. Maybe you claim some credits that they need to review. Dependent. A lot of times I've seen this happen a lot with people. They've had a child and there's a new dependent they're claiming. Sometimes those returns take a couple extra weeks while they verify with the Social Security Administration that child is being claimed by the proper person. There's also issues where I've had people contact me in the past where they've had delays because you have separated parents, where one parent claims one child 1 year, and then the following year, the other parent claims the same child. And when you bounce back and forth like that, sometimes the system is trying to figure out, wait, what's going on here? Why does this keep happening? And then those returns get held too. Sometimes people claim new credits that they've never tried to claim before. If you've been claiming the same credits for 10 years straight, and all of a sudden you're claiming the mortgage deduction, or a mortgage credit, whatever, which is going to be going bye-bye soon, probably. They could flag it because you've never claimed that one before. So why are you all of a sudden claiming it? They want to make sure you're legitimately claiming credits and deductions that you're taking. And then it can take a few weeks for the review department to look at those returns and verify them. And the fourth reason could be identity theft or identity verification. Sometimes the algorithm in the system determines that something doesn't seem right with a return, believes it could be fraudulently filed by someone who isn't the taxpayer on the return. So in this case, the IRS can hold the return for up to 60 days, and just to give themselves time to see if another person with the same Social Security number tries to file. They'll often send you a letter letting you know that you can speed up the process simply by you identifying yourself to them directly and completing their identity verification. And then once you complete your identity verification, they can expedite your return. Debts owed to other agencies. So if you owe debts to other government agencies, that can hold returns up. So when the return is e-filed, the system matches up the Social Security number to see if that person has any outstanding debts to other agencies. For example, delinquent student loans, past IRS debts, unpaid child support. The system kicks those over for offsets, and a lot of times those offsets will be reflected in the transcript as well. One of the worst delays of all that you can get is an actual audit. So if you are being audited for a previous year, they won't process your current year until that previous year is complete. So you file a new return and you're under an audit for a previous year, that new return is going to have a 420 code on it because you're being audited for a prior year. And that can slow things down. Stephanie says, I did a TurboTax 5 days sooner. If I update on Friday, will I get my money the same day? So the trend has been, so far this year, from what I've seen, is that most people that did the 5 day early, as soon as they see the 846 on their transcript, a lot of people that same day, later that day, were getting the money deposited to their cards or whatever. It could be, because it's a Friday, it depending on the time of day, it could end up not going through until Monday. But I've seen a lot of people get them the same day on those Friday transcript updates, and they get the money on their card that same day. So will we see updates tomorrow? I guess that's the big question. Are we going to see updates tomorrow? We could. Corey's going back to work. See you next week. Or join us Thursday. Thursday night, we're going to be having another stream. Big stream Thursday. That's the big day for everybody. No problem, Stephanie. Thank you for watching. Yeah, I've been going through the forums. There were some people disappointed this morning because I think some of the daily filers on some of the forums were expecting to see some updates, but they did not get them. So it doesn't look like they updated the transcript system at all today. Windy, great content. Thank you very much. Do I take donos? There should be super chats up there somewhere. If you can, they should be in the chat. You guys in the chat, you guys dailies or you guys weeklies? Tell us what you are. Weekly. Nothing on the transcript. Uh-oh. Hopefully it's coming. Weekly. I'd say most people. That would be weekly. 0605. Weekly. We're all waiting for that Thursday night update, I guess. Like I said, some people could. I have a subscriber that is an 05. Not on Path. She's an 05. And she got a Thursday update last week. So, I mean, I suppose it's possible. Like I said, after Path releases, it goes to the normal cycle. But I think most of us are going to update on Friday. Does state have anything to do with federal? Sometimes they compare notes, but there have been years, like I was audited 7 years ago by the federal government, and I got my state no problem. And then like 2 years later, I wasn't audited, but I was held for review on my state, and I got my federal, no problem. So they're not really connected to each other in any way, unless the state files a claim with the federal government saying you owed them money, in which case that could be for like an offset. Waiting for the deposit date. Yep. I think we're going to see it on Friday. See the deposit date, not the deposit itself. I feel like my state waits on the federal. Once the Fed says it's a go, they release the state. Some states may do that. Because I'm in Massachusetts, so we got our state tax return the first week in February. So federal had no part in how long our state took this year. No problem. So they just took are you saying they took your state refund? Let me know. But yeah, there could be, I suppose there could be states that may wait. The Gamboa family is also a weekly. Hey, we're all weeklies here, so I think we're all waiting for that Friday update. So I guess we're all just here in the stream tonight being miserable because we know we're not going to see anything probably tomorrow or Thursday. Never get New Jersey first. Yeah, it like I said, that could be a New Jersey thing. I know a lot of times California residents don't see their returns until after the federal, they get their federal refund, but that's because California takes a long time to process theirs. But there's been years that in our state we've had it after the federal in Massachusetts, but most years we get ours before the federal. I think Joseph in the chat, I think he's in New Mexico. I'm pretty sure he's gotten his state before federal some years too. Let me know, Joseph. So, yep, I think we're all going to be waiting for this mass transcript update coming on Friday. So, give me 1 second. And there you go. Every year, state before federal. Yeah, so I think that just depends on the state you're in. Some states hold off, some states take longer, but they're not like linked together. They're two totally different processing systems, two totally different batches of government workers working on returns, completely different authorities. Weld County Boy Western Wear reviews. If state is accepted today, do we get it tomorrow if we have chime and 5-day early deposit? If it's accepted today or approved, was on path as well. I mean, it's not, you're probably not going to get it within a day of it being accepted. Although I do know chime, if you can check when they plan on depositing, like if say it gets approved and you see you have an approval date and you have chime, I know chime is a non-hold bank, meaning approved. Yeah. So if it's approved and they have a date already set, chime could potentially release it early for you. Yeah, because we got our state a couple days before the deposit date too. So yes, you could in fact get it early. I don't know if it'll be 5 days early, but you could get early deposit. Some people opted for the TurboTax 5-day early deposit, and that's specifically for the federal, not necessarily for the state. So the federal, essentially what's happening and what I've seen happen so far this year is the people that did the TurboTax early pay that $25 fee for the early deposit. I see a comment here. I'm gonna check in on. The same day the transcript updated. Later that day, TurboTax or SBTPG, whatever their third-party bank is, sent the instant deposit over of their refund. And what happens in that case is once the IRS approves your refund and you'll see that 846 on your transcript, you'll see the 846 refund issue code. It gives you the date, which in, say, for example, this coming Friday, it's going to be dated for 2/26, which is a week from Wednesday. If you paid that $25 fee for the early deposit, the IRS is already scheduling that deposit out through the ACH system, meaning that TurboTax uses a third-party bank to process those returns for those $25 fees they charged, which is the SBTPG bank. And so in the ACH system, they're getting notified that that deposit's coming through. So now they know they're getting that money. They make that money available to you right away. They instantly send the deposit. That's how that's working. So what I've been seeing is a lot of people have been getting their refund that paid that fee. They're getting their refund the same day that their transcript updated later in the day. So Key to T said, I'm in Cali and I got my state on Friday, 2/6. That might be a world record on California returning a state refund. I feel like every year I get California residents complaining that they've been waiting forever. So that's good. Very good. Joseph also got his first week in February. Yeah. Same with us here in Massachusetts. I mean, not everyone in Massachusetts, just our family. We got ours the first week in February. Yvette's back in the chat. Good to see you, Yvette. Yeah, so maybe that's a New Jersey thing. I can look into that. I can do some research on how New Jersey's Department of Revenue operates their tax system. Most of my research, my tax research, has been done around the IRS, so the federally processed tax returns. Yvette wants to know, what does it mean when you're trying to check your transcript and it says it cannot open this page because of an invalid address? Yvette, are you clicking on the account transcript and it's saying that, or you can't even get into the transcripts at all? In other words, you don't even have an option of a transcript to click on. It's just you say get transcript online and it says there's an invalid address. Because one would mean it's the system outage, their server's down. But if you're actually in the transcript page, let me pull up a slide to tell you what I'm talking about. I got so many slides here now, I'm losing track. Nope, that's not it. Let me remove that one. Bear with me, everybody. I'll find it. This one. Nope. I wonder if I accidentally deleted this slide. Oh, okay. All right. So clicked on the 24 return and it says that. Okay. Yeah. So you clicked, you were on this page that looked like this. You see the 2024 account transcript, you click on it and it says cannot invalid address. Yeah. So it just hasn't, it means your return hasn't actually posted to that system yet. So maybe this Friday you could hit it. If I'm remembering correctly, Yvette, you've probably been a weekly batch processor in the past few years with the rest of us. So you may see that become available to you on Friday. So speaking of Friday, because of the expected big path update on Friday, where's my calendar? We will be having our weekly batch party, our first massive celebration on Thursday night, February 20th. I still haven't locked down a time for that. I do have some school committee business to attend to, but I will be planning a live stream for Thursday night, and we can wait on those tax returns together. I will probably, I don't know, I'm pondering just like going to town and pounding like 20 Red Bulls and trying to go all through the night. I don't know. I could end up losing my mind live for all to see and make my complete implosion earlier this week in the live I did look like child's play compared to what I could do with hocked up full of Red Bull. So I have been seeing a lot of comments, people saying, oh, I thought Path lifted on the 17th. Path officially lifted on the 15th. Every year, Path lifts on the 15th. Path is over on February 15th. It just so happens that this year, February 15th, was a Saturday. So it lifted on the Saturday, but because it was on a Saturday, they're not going to update the transcript systems on a Saturday. They don't update transcript systems on Sundays. And Monday was a holiday. They don't update the transcript systems on Mondays. None of that work, none of that data was being worked on and transferred. Starting this week, starting today, a lot of that stuff is going to start happening. So we're going to start seeing some trickle updates on Wednesday and Thursday for daily updaters. And on Friday, the first massive batch update for all of our friends that are weekly filers, all of our friends that have 05s on their transcripts. What day of the leak did it lift? It lifted on Saturday. So I think at this point we can just, for the year, we can just officially stop saying Path, because Path doesn't matter anymore. It's over. We've completed the walk, and now we're just waiting for the update. We're waiting for the system cycle to cycle through. What day of the week last year? I mean, we could pull up a calendar. February 2024. The 15th was a Thursday. So on the 16th, yeah, that sounds right. The 16th, it updated. The weekly batch, the first batch of path actors were updated. Well, a small batch was updated on the 15th for some of the dailies and a few of the weeklies. And then on February 16th, we would have seen a massive update. And I think last year I predicted that the first deposits of those weekly path actors was going to be on February 22nd, which I was correct because February 19th was a holiday. So, chat coming through. But I bet you if you went back to my videos last year, that's pretty much the timeline I would have given you. Yvette wants to know if I wasn't getting a refund, would it have let you know by now? Because I can't see my transcripts. Yeah, but there's no way to know without seeing the transcripts. So it's not really a question I'd be able to answer without seeing the codes on the transcript. I mean, you could check your transcript on Friday when it updates, if it updates on Friday, and it's available to you. And all the codes could be there, including the 846, in which case you're all set. Yvette, just let me know what day did you file on? I'm curious how long it's been like that for you. Looking at the I got my refund Facebook page, they seem to be pretty confident there's going to be at least some sort of update tonight. All right. Hello, sir. Thank you for your help and updates. Mine says we've received your return and it is being processed. So if you are just checking where's my refund and you haven't accessed the id.me site, then I would expect more than likely, especially if you've been waiting on the Path Act like the rest of us, you wouldn't see where's my refund update probably until Saturday. Oh, the dreaded non-filing letter. It's not that big of a deal, honestly. But hopefully, actually, you said you got your state on the 6th. So I hope it does change for you on Friday. That does seem like it's been kind of longer than normal. So yeah, I hope I hope it changes for you and becomes available on Friday. For those of you that don't know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the transcripts or the ID.me, why don't we just go to the IRS website? Right? Why don't we just go to the IRS website together? Why not? What else are we going to do? I should probably open the tab first. Well, we can go to my calendar tab. We'll share. Okay, irs.gov. So here we are on the irs.gov website, and you can sign into your account. You can sign into an individual account, and then if you don't have one, you can create an ID.me account, or if you already have one, you sign in with the ID.me. And that is where you can check your transcripts. Oh, you filed on to 6Keto. Okay. All right. So no, that's not it. So maybe you will see an update on Friday. That makes me feel better for you, actually, honestly, because when you said you had gotten your state on the 6th, I was thinking, that means I was thinking maybe you had filed back in January, which would be a long time to have not had the stuff available to you yet. But now that I see that you filed on the 6th, you could actually very well see an update on Friday. So let's cross our fingers for that. Now, Yvette, you asked, is there any way to get the transcript? Is the only way to get it online? You can call. There's like a hotline number for it. The problem with that is because you're looking, you already have access to it online. So and what you've been seeing online is basically that's not available. So if you were to call, it could either A, tell you that it's not available when you called because it's just not posted to the system yet, or B, you could order it, but because it's not done yet, you would get like a blank transcript. So the best way to get the most updated information is by holding tight, being patient, waiting for it to post to the system and checking it online, because that's always going to be the first place it's going to update. Mine won't let me sign in or reset, so I'm just waiting. Oh, that's a bummer. So you're pretty much relying on where's my refund then in that case. So hopefully you check on Saturday and it's updated. I missed that, but yes, on the Path Act, yeah. So I would check if you're not going to check on it, if you don't have the ability to check or you haven't been checking the ID.me, then what I would do is, I mean, you can check where's my refund every day, but I just know that most people, as I've stated in the past and continue to state because it's just pretty much fact at this point, 85% of people that fall under Path Act are in those weekly batch processing filers, meaning that those people, 85% of those Path Act people only update once a week. So their transcripts only update on Friday, and their Where's My Refund only updates on Saturday. IRS check told me the 22nd. Yeah, I highly doubt that. That's a weekend. Nothing's going to happen on a weekend. Although you could see the Where's My Refund update on the 22nd. I don't think you'd see a refund on the 22nd, but you could see the update to the Where's My Refund system on the 22nd. And if that's the case, then your date would be the 26th for the deposit. So yes, all those weekly filers in the chat, we're waiting for that Friday transcript update, that Saturday Where's My Refund update, and it will be a Wednesday 2/26 direct deposit date. And of course, if you paid for as many of people I'm seeing did, pay for the $25 early deposit, you could actually theoretically get that deposit on Friday when your transcript updates. The rest of us will have to wait. Unless you have a non-holding bank. If you have a non-holding bank, you can get the update a few days early. Whatever batch you are stays with you forever. Well, not necessarily. It can stay with you for quite a long time. It used to be, that used to be the case for like, let's see, it's 2025. I've been making these videos since 2011. So I'd say from 2011 till about 2019, whatever batch you were in, that was the batch you were always going to be in. So if your cycle code was in 05, it was always in 05. If it was in 01, 02, 03, 04, it would always be one of those. It would not necessarily always be in 02 if you were 02, but it would always be like a daily. In other words, you wouldn't be in 05. And then something started changing in 2019, and some of the people that had been in 05 for like 6, 7, 8 years in a row, all of a sudden were like in 02. So you can change now from year to year, but in most cases, most people, once they're in 05, they stay in 05. But when you aren't in 05 anymore, you know, the few that have been able to switch from an 05 to a different cycle, it's a nice little surprise for them, because now they know they can get their refund a couple days earlier. 05 for 4 years, yeah. Yeah, we were always, our returns were always a daily, 01, 02, 03, 04, until the year we got audited, which was 2013 or 2014. And then after that, ever since, we've been in 05. A lot of times, if your return is ever held for a reason, or if you're ever held for a review, or you're ever subject to an audit, you're automatically going to get kicked over to being in 05 weekly pretty much forever. Because once they've flagged you for something once, they're just always going to consider you a risk. And you could never have been flagged. I'm not saying that you got flagged for anything, but just by the fact now that this is why 85% of path actors are weekly filers, because just for the mere fact that we're claiming credits, earned income, or additional child tax credit, if we're claiming one of those credits, they just automatically are going to hold us to make sure we have the right to claim those credits. They're going to, so we get pushed into those 05 weekly batch processing, unfortunately. Which, Joseph, I think that answers your question, I hope. It's effectively, you get into the 05. It doesn't necessarily mean you meant to do anything wrong or you did anything wrong. It's just that when people get switched into the 05, a lot of times the reason they got switched into that 05 group is because of something that happened in the past that the system has determined now that they want that extra time. It's not like someone looking over the return and saying, oh, this person should be an 05 weekly processor. That's just an automatic identification that's done in the system itself. It's programming. It's all programming. So, we've been going for about an hour. We've answered some questions. We've looked at some slides. And like I said, I'm not expecting there's going to be any massive amount of updates. I'm thinking there's going to be some small updates for some people tomorrow and Thursday. I don't want everyone to panic because most people are not going to get an update. So if you are checking the forums daily like I do to stay fresh on the news and what's going on, and you start seeing people saying their transcripts updated and they're celebrating getting an 846 tomorrow or Thursday, and you haven't gotten it yet, don't panic, because we got time. Most people are going to update on Friday. And because most people are going to update on Friday, I'm going to be here for you on Thursday night. I'm going to be loaded up with that Red Bull, and I'll go as long as it takes to make sure I'm here for you guys when we do update. I don't know. I probably won't go all night, but it'll be a longer stream than the past, and we'll have some fun, and we'll be upbeat, we'll be positive, we'll be ready for those transcripts to update Thursday night into Friday. So until then, I hope everyone has a wonderful evening. And if you haven't already done so, throw a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you can be aware when we do post videos or when we do go live. Our numbers have been steadily increasing. I mean, we're not getting the 200 to 300 that we used to get in live streams. That's fine with me. I'm here for whatever help or whatever questions I get. I'll answer what I can. Doesn't matter if there's one person asking me questions. I'll do it. So I appreciate all of you for tuning in, sticking with us, watching the videos, and so until Thursday night, let's just say we'll say 8:30. I'll probably go on at 8:30 again Thursday, maybe 9. But I'll make a community post and I'll schedule it when I know for sure. But either 8:30 or 9 p.m. Eastern time, we'll go live again as we wait for those the massive weekly transcript update. So I hope everyone has a good night, and take a deep breath. Don't panic, because I'm quite confident most people will not be seeing updates. Some people will, but most people won't. So don't panic when you don't get the update, because it's going to happen. It will be happening, and the biggest update is going to be happening on Friday. So have a great night, everybody. Thank you, and we'll see you then.